How can you support your father? How do you support him moving forward?
The courtroom was full. Reporters, cameras, and people watching closely. Everyone was waiting to see what would happen next in Diddy's big trial. Then, everything changed. The judge gave a signal. A new piece of evidence was about to be played. It was an audio recording, and when the judge announced whose voice was on it, the whole room went silent. It was Diddy's own son, Christian Combs.
Major developments tonight involving the case against Sean Diddy Combs, what he decided in court today, and what this now means, the move coming just 4 days before his trial is set to begin. Here's Aaron Katursky.
Diddy's face went pale. The audio started playing, and what people heard shocked everyone. Christian was heard clearly talking about private things that happened in Diddy's homes and parties. He talked about the guests, the private flights, and even mentioned people being paid to stay quiet. And the worst part? His words made it sound like Diddy was behind it all. At first, Diddy sat frozen. He sipped water, stared at the table, and tried to stay calm. But as the recording went on, his hands started shaking. His eyes filled with rage.
And when the judge did, Diddy, who was sitting at the defense table with his attorneys, did not show any signs of emotion. He took a sip of water before he was led out of the courtroom by the U.S. Marshals. Now, his lawyers have vowed to fight this. They are going to be back in court on Wednesday before the judge who will oversee this trial and try to get Diddy to be released.
Then, he snapped. Diddy suddenly stood up, yelling loudly. He pointed at the speakers playing the audio. "This is a setup," he shouted, as his lawyers tried to pull him back. "He's my son! This is lies!" Gasps filled the courtroom. Reporters started typing fast. The judge hit the gavel, trying to bring order. But Diddy wouldn't sit down. He was shouting over everyone, saying he was being betrayed and framed. Finally, U.S. Marshals had to escort him out of the courtroom. It was a moment no one expected from the once calm music mogul. Outside the courtroom, people were already calling it Diddy's breakdown. So what was on that audio that hit him so hard? Sources say Christian talked about events that only someone very close to Diddy would know. He mentioned secret conversations, flights booked for unknown guests, and large payments made in cash.
Well, Bill and Sade, accepting a plea agreement would mean that Sean Combs would have to admit to trafficking and forced. And today he made it very clear that was not going to happen. Diddy maintained all along these encounters involved consenting adults and plans to take his chances that a jury agreed.
This wasn't just a son talking. It sounded like someone who knew how everything worked behind the scenes. And now he was spilling the truth. Some people think Christian gave the audio to avoid jail himself. Others say he just couldn't lie anymore. Either way, the damage was done. Diddy's team quickly tried to explain the outburst. They said he was shocked, hurt, and felt betrayed. One of his lawyers told reporters he's not just dealing with a trial, he's dealing with his own son turning against him.
Mr. Combs feels A, he's innocent, which is why he's not going to plead guilty. B, he's going to be truthful about this case because he wants to portray that to the people who have loved him his whole life. And I think he also feels an obligation to people in general. Maybe it's black people, maybe it's white people, maybe it's anybody who's ever felt aggrieved and targeted by the government. He feels an obligation to those people to say, you know what, maybe I can break the model. Maybe I can show the world that a black man can win, in federal court. And I think he probably is the only person I know of who might be able to actually accomplish.
Social media exploded. Near Diddy breakdown and Christian speaks started trending. Fans were split. Some stood with Christian, saying he was brave to tell the truth. Others called him a snake for testifying against his dad. Meanwhile, Christian stayed quiet. But insiders say this is just the beginning. There may be more audio, more evidence, and possibly more family members getting involved. This trial isn't just about money or fame anymore. It's about a father and son torn apart. Diddy once had everything: fame, power, respect. But now, the same people who helped him rise are the ones bringing him down. And after what happened in court, it's clear Diddy is not handling it well.
Hearing before Sean Combs' trial starts, when he walked into federal court today, he appeared to be looking for his family. They've pretty much been at all of the hearings that I've been to, but there was no presence of his sons or his mother or his sister who had previously been at those hearings.
Some say this breakdown could hurt his case even more. Judges don't like when defendants lose control in court. As the trial continues, all eyes are on Christian. Will he take the stand next? Will he speak more about what really happened behind closed doors? And can Diddy pull himself together before it's too late? One thing is clear. When Diddy heard that audio, he didn't just hear his son's voice. He heard the sound of his empire falling apart. And in that moment, in front of everyone, he lost it. This case is far from over. But now, the world has seen a side of Diddy they'll never forget. A father betrayed, a son speaking out, and a courtroom moment that shocked the world.